More progress on the DDCPS2. Good morning, YouTube. This is Friday. It is 10:57, almost 11 o'clock in the morning. I have about an hour before I do my Buick update, battery update, I should say. And that will happen probably, I may skip today, to tell you the truth. You may not even know it because I don't know when this is even going to get posted, but I may sparse this in somewhere, I don't know. But I just wanted to let you know that it is Friday at almost 11 a.m. So time-wise, you'll know when this is being recorded. I did a disservice, I know I did, to some of you viewers on the Eliza, which went public this morning on the video. By mentioning that charging circuit, I was trying to point out the fact that the AC was actually working. You know, in other words, the transformer was putting out voltage because I had it plugged in, and it was charging. I was putting the meter leads to the battery post, and it was providing 6 volts there to that. And then I went on to explain about the on-off switch, how it went off after I turned the switch on. That had nothing to do with the charging switch. That was completely independent of that. I was using a different voltage source. I wasn't using the one from the internal transformer. So that really had nothing to do with it. Basically, when you turn the switch on with power applied to the on-off switch, it would go dead. In other words, there was a short in the radio itself, causing the radio not to work. So there will be more on that, but I just wanted to kind of clear that up because I had a few posts, people, you know, getting confused by that charging circuit. And when I do the work on the radio, you will see that I have completely eliminated that from the whole thing. There is not even, the only thing we'll be working with is voltage applied to the radio. No charging circuit, no, none of that will be there, okay? So don't even think about that. But I just wanted to share that with you. What I'm going to do today here is the yeah, you can't see my ugly face, but anyway, you can see this is the line that I came up with. Now you may recall that I measured I think 16.5 space there that I was trying to fill up with that. And what it is these ends, when they are placed on the ends, they add 3/8 of an inch to the overall distance in that as far as on each end. Now the 3/8 times 2 is 3/4. So what I did when I measured this, I measured it 3/4 inch shorter, which 16.5, that's 14 3/4, I think is what it was. I could look at it, but whatever it was, that's the difference, and I think it was. I'm going to try to see if I can do this. See what it is measured. Oh, 15 3/4. I'm sorry, 15 3/4. Yeah, 3/4 would be 16.5. Okay, that's right. So that's how we did it. And I haven't cut it yet. Obviously, you've seen the line. There's a mark on there. That's where the other hole will be drilled. That will actually be one for the variac, and I wanted to keep it in the same spot because after I measured that with the variac on, it came out really nice, and that's where I want to put it. So, but I want it on that end, and like I said before, I want to be able to turn it with my left hand and to adjust this one with my right hand. That way I'll kind of keep in my feeble brain that right hand's AC, left hand's DC. Yeah, you guys, you got to kind of think up ways of remembering these things because, you know, it just helps. I don't know. So that's what we're going to do. But anyway, as I mentioned also about the update on the Buick, yesterday we saw that when it reached 24 hours, it tried to charge, and then it went back into recondition mode. And I think I'm just going to let that happen again today. I'm not even going to do any measurements, and I'm probably just going to put the camera out there on the battery charger and see if we can get a close-up of that happening. And that's probably going to be the update as far as that. And I may even combine that with this or something. Because the fact is that, you know, it's not necessary to do an update doing the same thing every day. It's just stupid. I mean, I know I do stupid stuff, but, you know, that's just totally stupid. So, anyway, that's what I wanted to come in here and show you or tell you. What I'm going to do is cut this 10 using the Dremel with the cutoff wheel, and that'll be fun. And once I get that done, and then I can clear some of this stuff out, I'm going to take the other piece of this dryer panel out of here, and then the next thing to do is to work on the metal piece that backs up the behind the scenes here, and get that cut down and ready to go. But then after I do that, then we're going to attach the ends permanently to each end of the plate, and so I can get this thing started and cut my grooves in my board on top to where I can fit that into it, and it will fit under there and do like I told you I wanted to do. So the top will be held in by the upper board, and then the screws on the plastic pieces will hold the bottom end in, and the whole thing will be secure. That's the plan. Good plan. Don't know how it'll turn out. So anyway, so let's get some of that done and pretend like we know what we're doing. Alright, back with you once more. I do have the what do you call it, cut. I don't have it cut trimmed like I need it done for the ends. Let me take this one off. You can see it has spaces out of it down here, here, here. Now these are, I don't know that these are all necessary to make that fit in there or not, but I know it does fit in there very well with them there, so I'm thinking maybe I'll put those in. Now this end, like I said, doesn't have anything cut out. You can see there's no trimming at all, and also it's rough cut from the wheel on the Dremel. So like I say, there's some trimming to do on that, and I've got to get that done. But there's a basic look at what it's going to be, the size of it. And again, there will be our fourth hole that'll be the variac control hole there, where it will go through. So there you go. That's kind of an idea there, how it looks. So, but that's, like I said, that's going to fit in that slot. I may try to cut out some section of this to get that fit in better, and then we'll push it back in there into the slot to see what it's going to look like. Get a rough idea anyway. So, alright, be back. Alright, you can see now I do have this end shaped in like the other end. Oh, I don't know about the other end, but this part fits pretty good here on this. Let me take this apart and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Got that shape just like, well, just not exactly like it, but you know, pretty much the same. That end is pretty much the same as that end. There's a little trimming that might need to be done, but you know, it's okay. Now the next thing is this up here on the top. Here needs to be trimmed, and this needs to be trimmed over here on this side, like that. So that's what I'm going to work on next. And once I get that, then those two ends should fit in there pretty good. This one was fitting okay, except for the fact that the top end's messed up because of that, just what I was talking about. So took a little bit. It takes a little bit to get that in there, but it does go in. Like I said, it may need some little trimming here and there, but overall it's pretty good, I think. So, all right, bring it back. All right, there's a rough, very rough look at how this is going to fit. It is shaped now on the ends to allow the ends, both ends, to be on like they are supposed to be. I must have mismeasured a little bit because I have a gap on this end because that wire is still sticking out there, but that's okay. And I also have a gap about the same on the other end. So apparently I mismeasured that. I guess I didn't measure close enough. But that's no problem. Once that's notched out, I do believe you can see there that the top is probably going to go underneath that. And as long as this is notched out, it will go back in there a ways. I don't know how far, but it will go back in there a ways. That's one of the next things I want to do is get that set up. I think what I want to do is bring it down to this end to where it's as close as possible to, and that's got to be over like that. So that's how that'll sit. It's not tight right now, but once that wire is out of there, it can go press against that pretty much like it needs to be. And on that end, the gap will all be on this end, which is where I want it because I don't want a gap on this end. So I've got to get that wire out of there. That's all there is to it. That's going to have to be done next where I can get an accurate. Although it's at the top, that's where I need to go. So let me mark that real quick. Alright, there's where our notch has got to be for that one. And if that one's right, then this one's got to be right as well. That's right there at that hole. So, that, well, I say, once I notch that out and push that back in there, it should be where it's got to go. Now, like I said, this will be come together like that once that wire's out of there. There's still a little bit of a, I don't know if you can see that, how well you can see it, but there's still quite a bit of a overhang here that's got to be got out of there. And I'll do that once I take this wire out so I can hit that with hammers or whatever, not chisels, but screwdrivers, and get that all out. And like I say, that's how it's going to do. Like I say, I'll notch that that back top board here next. I'll use the saw and the Dremel and saw as far as I can back there, and then take the screwdriver and notch that out on both ends. And that will allow that to go back in just enough to where I can, it will hold it down. And as you can see, this part here is going to be well underneath that that board, and that's what I was hoping for. And that will work out well too. This is going to be rerouted down, I think, underneath that, or either that or underneath, you know, through the pegboard over here to come out on that end, I think is how I'll do it. And that should be easy enough to do. So, or even, I can even take that along the top here. Come to think of it, it could just run along the top, because that's not even going to come near that. So I may do that too. I don't know. Or instead, I don't know. We'll see. But I just wanted to basically get an idea of what it was going to look like. You can see. And like I say, it will be in there a little bit further than that. I don't want to take quite that much of the bench space up, but that is a good idea of what it'll look like. And like I say, the control for my variac will be here, and then on the other end, the AC is about the equal distance. So that'll work out really, really well. So happy about that. Now, next thing I've got to do is clean this bench up, and then I'm going back to work on the Eliza. I want to take the components out. I also want to get this thing switched. this new switch put in over on the uprights for the shelves over there, so I can wire that back up like it was and get that all back together. And I want to use my some of this wire here that I got for pennies. In this box here I've got all kinds of wire, so maybe some little red wire there or something like that, or even a red and black. That would be nice. Not that it needs to be, because there's no polarity to that, but it's just a switch wire. So that's what we're going to do for that. And like I said, I have no shortage of projects. And in 15 minutes I've got to do my update. I've got to get this camera out there to be positioned in the proper position to watch for the changing of the switch from charge to recondition, things like that. So, alright, I'm going to say goodbye on this one. You guys have a great day. Thanks for watching, and we will see ya.